The Cuphead Show Season 4, Everything We Know. With the recent release of the third season of the Cuphead Show, the ending certainly alluded to the fact that we could well be getting a Season 4 of the show. With the introduction to the Devil's Casino 1 month after their last encounter, a poignant structure from the game has now made its first appearance in the show, and I feel a lot is most likely going to go down in there, just like we've seen throughout many of the other places in Inkwell Isle over the course of the 3 seasons. So with that, I thought I'd take a look at all that was out there, along with giving my theories and predictions to what I think could happen next. So let's get into it. Here is the Cuphead Show Season 4, Everything We Know. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The story. Season 3 of the show finished up with us seeing the Devil's Casino for the first time in the show. This is extremely important to the Cuphead show. The Cuphead game starts when the brothers enter the Devil's Casino, so this means we could well see the events of the game start to play out in the show in Season 4. Or it could mean that they're not going to create another season of the show because the story's told in a different medium, the game. However, I don't think that will be the case. If Season 4 of the show does follow suit to the game, this would mean that we'd see the brothers enter the Devil's Casino after noticing it at the end of Season 3, participate in a game where they're constantly winning, feel confident to continue, and with Cuphead's nature to continue like we saw in the Season 3 finale, he most likely would want to keep pressing with it. However, it would go wrong. Another deal would be made with the devil, where if they were to win, they'd win all of the loot in the casino and essentially own it. But if they lost, then the devil would be able to take their souls. Something that we've seen as a common theme in the show. In this instance, they would lose, but in a last-ditch attempt at saving their souls, they'd strike up a new deal with the devil, something he doesn't often mind doing. And this would be for them to go and claim the souls of all of the people on the devil's list, working their way through the bosses in the game. This would mean that we'd see so many more bosses in the show compared to what we've had, and I'd imagine we could see a new boss every episode or two. That would be the hope. If the creators of the show decide to deviate from the narrative of the game, they could branch out and create an entirely new story surrounding the devil and his casino. So I feel it's something that we're just going to have to wait and see. I imagine alongside the main arc of what I've just mentioned, we could see some stories that drift off slightly like we've had all throughout the show. And we could see some smaller characters appearing like Bowl Boy and Baby Bottle, and maybe an arc that just focused on Miss Chalice, maybe in her legendary Chalice form. I'd definitely be up for seeing a story similar to the game being replicated or developed for the screen, because we'd see so much more of the world that's in the Cuphead universe, and as we're now at the end of Season 3, there's still so much more that we could witness. The release date. In terms of a release date for the show, when the Cuphead show was first commissioned, it was announced that we'd be getting 36 individual episodes as part of the show, and now, as of the end of Season 3, we've had 36 episodes, 12 in Season 1, 13 in Season 2, and 11 in Season 3. With there not being an official announcement on if the show is going to continue yet, it does leave it up in the air on a release date. As fans of the show, we're looking for a green light to be given, which usually comes a couple of weeks to a couple of months after the show is concluded. Given the success of the Cuphead show and the fact that it's received a good response from its viewers, I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix does decide to commission it for a few more seasons. There's nothing else like it on the platform, so it does truly stand out. If that is the case, I'd predict that we could expect to see the show not in a couple of months like we had in between seasons for the first 3 seasons, but instead I think it could be in around a year's time. This is because new stories, voice performances, and animation would need to be created, so I feel it could be around a year to wait until Season 4 would arrive on our screens. The characters. The characters are what make the Cuphead show so good and iconic when on screen. I feel if a Season 4 does get commissioned, the obvious ones that we'll most likely see are Cuphead, Mugman, Elder Kettle, Miss Chalice, the Devil, King Dice, and Henchman. They are the staple characters that we've had throughout every season of the show, and they're at the core of the Cuphead show. The Devil is the main villain, and King Dice is second in command, so it would always make sense for them to appear. Outside of that, it could quite literally be anybody from the game. We've had the likes of the Root Pack, Baroness von Bonbon, Ribby and Croaks, Carla Maria, Captain Brinybeard, Werner Verman, Bowlboy, Sally Stageplay, and a few others, but there are so many great bosses that we could still hope to see. If we're going off the idea that the show could replicate something similar to the first part of the game, the first few bosses that we have in the Cuphead game are the Root Pack, Cagney Carnation, Goopy Legrand, and Hildeberg. Hildeberg and Cagney Carnation are 2 bosses that I'd love to see make appearances on screen. We were teased with a small inclusion of Hildeberg in Season 2, so that's what makes me think we could potentially get an inclusion of her in the new season. There are many other characters that I'd love to see, like Beppy the Clown, because I feel they could make a really haunting and dark episode based around him. Another character that I'd also like to see is Rumour Honeybottoms, and I'd also be open to see more of Werner Verman and Baroness von Bonbon. We'll just have to wait and see which characters will be served up if and when the new season arrives. But for now, there's the game to play and 3 seasons to rewatch. Unfortunately for now, that's all that's known about the Cuphead Show Season 4. I'm sure more information will get released as time goes on. So, there you have it. The Cuphead Show Season 4, everything we know. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think will happen in Season 4? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.